Good evening and Merry Christmas, everyone. Well, just arrived home from family celebrations with quite some food everywhere. And I realized that this race is not even 90 minutes now, it's 111 minutes, so I don't even know what's going on here, but let's figure out. Let me do a bit less fuel for a short practice session. 6 minutes to go. Oh, that's... Ooh, wait. Do I... I know what's going on. Quit to main menu. Basically, I made... Well, let's first say hi, Alex. Good race to you as well, and hi, Fabio. This is... Yeah, exactly. In the UI, it was saying 90 minutes some hours ago. It was saying 90. I double-checked. Somebody in Discord said that the previous one was 90. But here I have ultra details for the best thumbnail, and of course I forgot to put it back. Anyway, let's not drive on 30 FPS, but rather have 130, so rejoin. Hi Pedro, hi James. Fabio, I don't know, like, as I said, in Discord it was saying 111. In UI here it was saying 90. So I guess somebody saw the messages today and that was loud. Ouch. Thought there was like a fireworks happening in my headphones. So yeah, somebody must have changed something on the server, or I don't know, or maybe it's a bug, but yeah, we will be, I guess, racing for 21 minutes longer, which means that it's actually a great strategical conundrum between fuel saving and extra pit stop, but I think it should be, yeah, full tires. Should be quite straightforward one stopper. Hard Toyota in Kota. Is it hard? Don't tell me that. I hoped that it would be kind of decent. Let's see. I mean, at Sebring it was good. Maybe not best, but it was fast enough to win. And it was especially good in turns 1 and, well, the sunset bend, and not that great in the straights. And is this a bit too loud? Okay. I thought at Kota there is even less of straights and more corners, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, are the tires limited? Ooh. It's actually 6 new tires. Does that mean that we can only... Is that 6 new tires for the whole race session, or how does that work? Or is it 6 new tires for each session? Toyota is by far the fastest at Kota. Well, thank you, Alan, for making my start to the stream slightly easier reading that. I mean, it should be good, right? And so should be the Sebring setup. 2 tires available in the race. Interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. You know what? Let me quickly do settings, controls, calibrate. Oh, what's the steering wheel range on this car? Yeah. Would have to go to garage to check it out. I think my virtual mirror is bugged. Like this, yeah, the middle one. It's a bit squeezed together. Daniele, max wing, yes. I had max at Sebring as well. Toyota is weird when it comes to rear wing. It doesn't really have much difference in top speed between min and max, and it's not really like big steps. James, I think it's gonna be 2-stop. According to my calculation, it should be 59 laps. 58 or 59. And 28, 29 is doable on one tank. I have zero grip. Tires are cold, of course. Fabio, I don't even know, to be honest. I think it's still the resetting every time the session moves. It's gonna take quite a bit for the tires. Ah, it's green track. Interesting, green track and cold. And it's 12 minutes of quali. Where is the... Ooh, yeah, okay, yeah. Nice. Oof. 12 minutes, should be 6 laps. Yeah, I'm just gonna fuel up and keep driving. I hope 22 is fine. 5 to 7. Let me just open up the steering a bit. 550, just to be a bit slower. Oh, it's 10 minutes quali. Yeah. Why is it changing? It's at 12, now it's 10. Anyway, headlights on and we are going. Track will stay green. Yeah, again, I think it's like... I think it just says the starting rubber conditions here. It doesn't... zero grip. It doesn't then say anything about evolution. There could be evolution, but it could be just very slow or something, I don't know. Real road is really slow now. Okay. That's gonna be fun then. Well, if it's that slow, then could be more towards one stopper, right? I mean, let's see, I will try to target one extra lap or something. And yeah, it still says 6 new tires, so I guess it's every session 6 new tires. Or maybe it just is unlimited for all sessions except for race. Low 50s? Really? I did 5 laps of practice yesterday. I did 52.5 or something. The best in leaderboard was 53. Ah, copy Arda. Yeah, makes sense. Just race. Oh, rip Arda. Did you try that thing with removing some file from somewhere? I think in online status or like in the schedule there is like a path on which you delete something and then it helps with registration showing up. But not sure if what's the specific use case for that. I hope my throat survives. Feels like I did indeed catch something in the past days into my lungs. But the grip is kind of alright, or maybe the Toyota is kind of alright when it comes to getting grip. I cannot stop the car. These corners with green rubber are just insane. Probably still much easier here than in real life. $53.9, okay. 1.5 to Fabio in P1. I'd rather not overdo it now. Maybe push more in the last two laps. Although that was quite on the limit already now. The e-tron, it's a very difficult track, to be honest. Just need to be so precise in so many corners with track limits and with anti-cuts. I see some purples there in the sectors, nice. Fabio improved meanwhile, of course. This is almost like those quali sessions where the track is slightly damp and it is faster and faster each lap till the end. Ah, brake too early. Nah, that's not gonna stop. Now my brake markers just don't work. Hello, Jan. I should have 2 more attempts, I hope. Yeah, I should get 2. Pedro, I can do that, although I will probably forget. Maybe remind me in Discord. Right, 2 more attempts. Pace seems to be there. Ah, just cannot get the corner done properly. Well, wasn't the greatest sector 1, but still improving. Pedro, you can find me in LMU Discord. I think if you search for usernames, you can find. Slightly closer to the pole, but here we go, last attempt. Please, car, work. Nice snap. That's not going well. Quite close. Ooh, well, nice fight there for the pole. I couldn't get turn 1 done, like, I braked at the white line here every lap, and then last attempt I broke slightly earlier, but exactly the same thing happened at the apex. Maybe just my line wasn't too good, and here I just had like a understeer and then rear snap. And the TC is doing weird stuff. Ah, Alex, I see. Gonna be close. Well, I guess it's not the most popular weekly event today, but it's gonna be still quite a challenging race. So many Peugeots at the top. Come on. Alex, I don't know, to be honest. I think it's it should be like 29 and 30 laps, and full push is 27 or 28. I don't know. Let's see. Or it could be push and then splash in the end. Online championship, of course. Yeah, there is that. Which one is that one with hypercar on Thursdays? I mean, good to see people actually went for the championship, because it's kind of a league, right? So you commit to that. Yeah, BMW is a good car here as well. Pretty nice in the hairpins. I drove it once for... Oh, I got scared. Looked at starts in and it was like 0 and 41 and it stayed at 41 for like 3 seconds. Okay, well. Yeah, let's see which tires we're gonna change. Probably just the right side, to be honest, but let's see. Because, well, two new tires left only. And my virtual mirror is still bugged. It's squeezed. And now I need to be careful about this red stuff, because it's... If you're on the outside here and obeying this red stuff, you're gonna be P3 at the start, which is not best. So you kind of need to ignore it and like do that. And it's still quite bad, but here we go. Green, green, green. Can I cover that? I can. I took the wet lane. It doesn't work, obviously. I think the BMW is gonna be very difficult to overtake on straights. Ouch. It was just a slight love tap from behind. I do have the downforce advantage for sure. And let's see if Fabio in P1 goes for a bit of a fuel saver as well. no, my ventilator, my dear fan is off. I need to switch it on the first straight. There we go. Yeah, I mean, normally if it was a 111-minute race, we would not be even thinking of doing just 2 stints. But Kota is very, very lenient on fuel. It's very environmentally friendly track, you know. You just don't spend much time flat out. In hypercars at least. And it's quite efficient to lift and coast because of these 2 hairpins here and turn 1 as well. We are both going deep. I would have a chance if I didn't mess up that apex. But here indeed 50-minute stints are possible. Yeah, James, exactly. Not sure if they had that in mind when designing it or not. But I mean, that's one way to burn less fuel, you know. Good design. Daniela, I do agree with that as well. I mean, the worst thing about this is how... Ooh, that's a chance. What? Well, that's scary. I'm too afraid to keep side by side. I don't know. I was slightly behind. I think that was him, right? It wasn't me. I get penalized by the game for moaning about the design of this track. But yeah, as I wanted to say, these curbs that are very takeable, and then there is like, I mean, in Sector 1 you're going, well, with F1 car you're going 280 plus kph almost, and then you just have to be precise enough to be 1 millimeter away from the anti-cut, and that's difficult. What is Fabio doing there? They're reluctant to take any apex. It's becoming kind of like Sebring V2, right? Not sure if they intend to keep fixing the bumps and so on, but for sure it's lively. But these lap times, this... I don't know, we are not even having to fuel save, we are going so slow now. But again, it's green rubber and cold track. Well, it's not that cold anymore, but still. And then with F1 cars you basically avoid the anti-cuts, but with hypercars you kind of have to take some anti-cuts. But if you take them, it's not pleasant at all. So it's I don't like riding the curbs. But well, they designed it like they did. It's built in a swamp. Is there a swamp in Texas? But I mean, that's one way. Oh no, my throat. Excuse me. That's one way of making sure that some people have secured jobs. Need to repaving such a big track every year. I mean, if they make money from it, if that keeps Kota as top tier circuit, and if Sirius keep visiting it, then of course it's a good business, right? For the local population as well. Marshland. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really expert in the US geography. I know there are mountains on the left side or like on the west, and there is flatness on the right side, and that's all I know. Daniela, I suppose they have calculated with that in their mind, right? And then they probably they don't have to like do the whole road, right? They just smoothen the top surface beneath the asphalt and repave it, and it's not that big of an expense, I imagine. Good evening, Mario. This is tricky, I need to dive, even though that BMW behind would feel entitled to turn in. Well, Alan did say before that Toyota is by far the best hypercar around here. But, well, till now, it feels like the pace between me and BMW in Fabio's hands is very, very similar. Okay, first proper check to see. Okay, alright. You see how the BMW powers away. It's crazy. But I don't think he has too little rear wing. I would say he's on max rear wing. I know that It felt similar to that when we did that Kota weekly or special with David some time ago, and David was in the Peugeot, I was in the BMW, I had max rear wing, he as well, and every time out of the hairpins I just powered away like nothing. But he had the pace in corners. That's some... ooh. Track limits, okay. Come on. Okay, green. That was some very good fuel saving by Fabio ahead. He lifted very early and he knew that there is no way I overtake him there. Tire wear is super equal. I don't even know which side I will change. I guess left side in the end, because more temperature. I mean, it's anti-clockwise track, right? But that second to last corner, or like third to last corner, the very long ride is just so demanding on the tires. Even if you're going slow. This sustain load here, like you just need to keep turning and pushing it. Just fries the tires. And turn 2 as well, right? I mean, it's easy flat, but it's still a full load. And this one here as well, yeah. This very long ride. It's interesting how they designed... I mean, some tracks are like, let's say, anti-clockwise, and it kind of feels like all the corners go left and then maybe 1 or 2 corners go right. But this track is anti-clockwise and it feels really balanced when it comes to loads on the left and right side. So that's nice. But here we go. Less than 3 tenths behind. Too far. I just realized now I've never really done much of Kota multiclass. Oof, that was close. I think twice about every move. Daniela, I don't like cards. Like, since the last update there is no real thermal deck anyway. Yeah, we have Mr. Benson in the server chat. Well, that's just the real road, being green. But yeah, for the hards we would need like 50 Celsius track temp. And even then... I would need to be properly convinced to use hards. Do you remember, Daniele, we had a race here where there was Timotei Antonowski with the Ferrari hypercar. He was the only one to take cards. He absolutely dropped down like a stone. And he was on the pole. Or P2 or like... He had the top pace. And it was very hot temperatures. Ah yeah, it was David on pole, Timotei P2, but they were like within thousands. And then David took mediums, Timotei took hards, and the hard just didn't work. And I don't know what it is, but yeah, since then I'm not really taking hards. Even though on the paper they should work better in very high temps. It was a very smooth first half of the lap. He fuel saved a little bit too much for his comfort. That's the first time in my life that I see a move around the outside there working. He must have had some kind of an issue at the apex. Because that's never supposed to work. It's just the nature of the corner. But well, into the lead. Now the question is how much he's fuel saving, how much fuel he still has. Because I don't think I would have the chance on him if he didn't lift and coast there. Don't throw it away instantly. But yeah, the temps on the left side are higher, so... Yeah, James, I assume we were just both very careful, because if you go for the outside there, you have to expect the car on the inside to lock up or like just miss the corner or fly through the anti-cut and hit you in the side. And then if you're on the left side, you sometimes, or well, you shouldn't really want to hit the car on the outside, so in the BMW, which is LMDH, you know that the brakes are not the best. So a lock up can happen, so yeah, probably he was just very safe. The tiny pedal is a bit broken. Oh, unlucky Fabio. He went through. I lost my rhythm through sector 1 because how terrible the traffic luck seemed to be for him. That would be an orange cut in GT cars. For some reason you can cut just so much more with hypercars. And you can do this, it's not even a green cut. Could be mixed set, yeah. It's really strange because if you race here with GT3s and then switch to hypercar, you're basically having to relearn the whole track, as the driving lines are just so different. You can just take so much more track width, carry more speed, brake later. I mean, you're braking actually the same spots with hypercar and GT. Actually, no, GT3 brake the latest of all cars, right? Because they are LM GT3s, which have less power and ABS, and the braking distances are kind of like F1 almost. Well, that's a bit unlucky for me. Yeah. Well, that's multi-class racing. And now I'm getting eaten alive. Actually, not quite. That's interesting. I had zero front grip in that hairpin in the end, but I guess he had not much more. So that's well defended, or luckily defended. This battling in hypercars is kind of like slow motion. You're going 300 on the straight, then you brake, and then you're just so slow. And you're going side by side, so you're even slower. So just waiting and waiting and waiting, and then you're on the exit. You try to put the power down. There is no traction. TC kicks in, and you're waiting. I mean, it's fun still, especially if you emerge ahead. Speaking of Van Val, have I actually ever driven that car in LMU? I drove the Glickenhaus. I think I wanted to take the Van Val once, but then realized that the competition is so hard that I'll probably be P15 with it, so then I swap car, something else. Hi Marius. Yeah, Daniela, I'm wondering that, like, it feels weird. It just doesn't have the top speed. He still has the acceleration. That's what makes me think he actually is on max rear wing. Or maybe he's trolling me and he never goes beyond 98% throttle and he will just extend the stint by 3 laps or something. There is no good way to overtake 2 consecutive cars there. If you go for the left, then the car ahead will block you in the kink. If you stay on the right, maybe the first car will not go left and you will have to abandon the outside move. I never know with these LMH hypercars what to do with the battery, because they don't need any battery for the pit stop. So if you don't really need any front wheel drive above 190 anywhere, then you could just as well put very high deploy and just stop worrying about it. The battery will never feel itself and start clipping. The only drawback is the cases on track where you're going 190 and still turning, and if you have max deploy, you will get massive understeer. There is a little bit of that around this track for sure. I'm gonna get destroyed out of there every lap or what? Isota, well, it's probably... What if it's actually the best car to have at some of the tracks? Just nobody's really making any serious attempt with it. It's a difficult car to drive. But again, I say that having done maybe one fixed race with it and then one opened setup race or 2. So not much work has gone into it. .5 of pole. I mean, I hope it's BOP'd alright. If it was actually the best car at some track, something would not be quite correct. Although again, they did say they tried to make all the new cars usable. getting stuck there for what, 4th lap in the row. You cannot do a multi-class race without complaining about traffic at some point. But as well, the traffic will not allow you to make a single endurance race without doing something very weird to you at least once. Is he taking the apex? Yeah, that's a tricky corner to lap the slower class traffic. Well, e-tron, the more I drive the Toyota, the more I like it somehow. Well, oops. It got its strengths, and it's really nice in the corners, and the downforce is good, and if you know how to set up the car, it suddenly stops doing the weird understeer that it has on the fixed setup. Because on the fixed setup I think it feels like it's very lazy, but at the same time it has no traction. And then if you optimize the setup, it still feels like it has no traction, but at least it's not lazy anymore. Well, Arrow, was that maximum rubber, or because it depends of course on the track rubber and the temperatures and everything. Because, well, we are doing 54s now, but the track is green, there is zero grip. I need to be careful about the fuel. This lap was a bit too high on the virtual energy side of things. The AI drove in official race. Wait, what do you mean AI? Wait, I'm confused. How can AI drive official race? Oh, well, that guy missed the apex slightly. Ah, right, you can actually put AI on the server if you're making your own server. I really like the way that RF2 handles the AI, when you can just click a button, press a button and the AI takes over. It's useful for some, well, for practicing tracks where the pit lane is very long. You just put it to AI control and Control X to time accelerate, and then stop both when you're on track. So you waste less time by exiting the pits. Well, Isota versus Glick versus Vanval is easy win for Isota. There's still a line in the settings, Jason. Interesting. The issue is that when the AI takes over, it doesn't have the complicated thermal tech and abrasion wear on the tires. It just has like one overall, let's say, grip loss. Just one way to lose the grip. It's kind of just if the tires of AI weren't even overheating, they're just getting like double or triple the abrasion. Not sure if they fixed that for LMU, but in RF2, if you, let's say, do a lap yourself, you lose maybe 1-2% in some cases, and the AI loses like 6%, and is therefore very difficult to use it for practice. If you just let it, I mean, it would be nice if you could let AI do 3 laps to warm up the tires, and then you just practice the quali on hot set, right? But then you will have 80% wear remaining, and that's not great, and the tires will be very cold. If it's still how it was in RF2. Is this around outside? Really not sure if it's better to wait to switch back or just go the long way around. I guess it has to be judged on case by case. LMP2 versus Vanval. Well, that as well. But the Vanval would have to have a bit of less power maybe. And then it would be a good fight actually. Thank you for the sub. And I'm getting stuck here again. Hi Kostas. Cannot really drop Fabio. Yeah, well, Jan, as you say, I mean, it's not really high stakes at the moment with LMU, it's early access and everything, so... I mean, it's always good to report to the devs any weird stuff that you see. Yeah, devs are... Well, you say devs are on holidays, but you know, I signed up for a race which was 90 minutes long, even though it's at 111 in Discord. I mentioned it in Discord, like, what was it, around noon today, got the response that the previous races, the weeklies at Kota, were actually 90 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, I guess then we have 90 minutes of Kota. Then I came home today, like 10 minutes before the race. I register, and it's 1:11 in the race distance. So there must be one dev that's not on the holiday. Was it Ben? I saw Will responding earlier. Well, in the past, I have reported weirdest things. What was that Formula Pro Season 1? Or no, it was Season 2 with the ballast. And then the rules could be interpreted in a way... Yeah, it was Monaco, penultimate round. I was leading in the championship against all the red lines and stuff like that. But I had the most ballast of them all because of the stupid rules. And the best way for me to do would be to stop before the finish line in Monaco, lose 2 positions, and then have the least ballast for the final, and then have greater chances of winning the championship. But then it could be interpreted as abusing the rules or doing something unintended and unsportsmanlike. I took the checkered flag and I took the ballast for the last round, and then I reported that the rules are bugged. Of course, nobody did anything, and the last round went terrible. But well, esports is esports. Spot on for 30 laps. Could even be slightly under fueling for the second stint by a lap or 2. Oh, Jimmy with the Y. That's very insulting, you know. Jimmy, this is not a democracy, man. This setup is actually working very well. It's just a bit too loose, maybe in some stages of low speed corners. It worked slightly better at Sebring, but for the brakes it's really spot on. I'm just scared of the front reacting weirdly. I really hope Jimmy will be happy to move things from RF2 to LMU. Speaking of Virtual Endurance Championship, if he decides to keep hosting it. Meanwhile, our lap times are not getting any worse. Which is quite logical, right? The temperatures are not high, or have not been high at the start, so the temperatures on the track or on the tire are not high, so there is very little thermal drag. Ooh, actually, I just realized now we can. Oof. We can only change the tires. Now this is worrying. Where is the cliff on the tire? I wasn't thinking of it. I thought that the abrasion percents are gonna be fine. %20 for the cliff. Yeah. Well, that's gonna be tight. Well, Daniele, let's see how it goes. Think of it now. I have to change the rear tires. Yeah, James, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. I wasn't really pushing the tires either. But let's see if Fabio knows about it. Or when does he figure it out. But if it's 60% plus at the end of the first stint, it will be fine for the second stint. But how does the car feel with worn fronts and new rears? That would be quite a weird experience. '58s, '59s. I mean, this is gripping quite well for a green track. I don't know. I didn't really watch the race, I just watched the highlights. But then if it was like 60 Celsius track temp in the middle of a very hot Texan day, then I imagine the deck was insane. I have to change both rears. I don't think there is a way around it now. I don't know when to box even. And then how will the rears feel out of the garage in turn 1? They're gonna be cold. The fronts will grip. The rear will be ice. Gonna be interesting. I guess I just keep going for as long as possible. Oh, this is so bright. Almost feels like visually that the track is wet. So much of reflection from the sun. I guess I'm now subconsciously just driving second per lap slower. No, honestly the front should be fine. I cannot change all four, because there are only 2 sets available. I like going for the science, you know. I could change both left side, but I'm really worried about that rear right. Although I could drive a bit more gently till the end of the race in left corners and keep it above 20%. Yeah, Bahrain worked for the science, of course. Well, Fabio has saved the fuel. Well, that's a funny situation. He got boxed in. Oof. I went almost too safe into the situation, but I guess it was a good decision in the end. Well, Tiny Pedal now says that I can refill 88%. I don't believe it. Maybe I can decrease a bit. I will decrease for a lap. And then let's change the rears, see what happens. Poof. Well, 53 minutes should be enough, right? 1 lap less. 55 times 2 is... yeah, fuel should be fine. I can even push it a bit more now. 91. Yeah, I mean, I did fuel save quite a bit now. Although now if Fabio takes less, he will get me. Yeah, I guess it's 58. Why did it put me at such an angle? Oh, he took full tank or what? Stationary for even longer. Okay, now the rears are cold, fronts are not that hot either, to be honest. But let's see how that feels. Ooh, rotation. I'm scared. Okay, there is grip. Just don't want to be in it instantly. Not great. Well, I should have some good traction now, right? It should be horrendous in hairpins, but the traction will be good. You know what? It handles okay. It's not bad. Quite neutral. Yeah, 1 or 2 is 5, 3 or 4 is 12. But again, we only had 2 new tires for the whole race. Well, I'm really pleasantly surprised by how well this handles. Even though I keep expecting less rotation, it's alright. Although the rears are not up to the temperature yet, so they will eventually grip even more, so the understeer could happen. Hi Simbigo, Merry Christmas. So should I do a quick recap of the race? Qualified less than a tenth behind the BMW that's currently in P2. Then we went flat out for it. Eventually I got the move done around the outside into the sector 2 left hairpin after the back straight. And then we figured out that the tire wear is a problem and that we only have 2 new tires. Well, I knew before that we only have 2 new tires, but I wanted to change just the left side. But the rears, both rears were worn more and would most likely cliff in the end of the race. So now we have a car with worn fronts and fresh new rears. And it actually works really good for the Toyota. I really like how it balanced the car now. Because with the Toyota the rear is just kind of weird, like all over the place, or over-rotating a bit, or lacking traction, while understeering at the same time. Now it's really well balanced. Like this corner especially. Maybe it's just my setup that's a bit on the edge. How is that why is that green track limits? If that was a GT car, I would be straight into like 2.0 cut points. But this is actually a racing line with a hypercar. Interesting. Okay, that was an abrupt... how is it called? Cloud cover. more abrupt lighting decrease. Yeah, that understeer is still there now. But the rear is gripping well. I like it. The science is sciencing well. It's not really understeering more. It's just gripping better from the rear. What I could do is one click more rear anti-roll bar. It should work. Lucky traffic for me this time. Alright, Simbigo. Yeah, I guess after some 5-ish laps the things stabilize, like the pressures increase. So that, well, soft tire rubber grip disappears, so it bites a bit less, but of course it increases the temperature, so it bites more at the same time. But still, it feels really good now after some laps. Pleasantly surprised. Would do it again, 10 out of 10. Although, to be honest, if I did this race once more, I would probably just take a bit more traction control and be slightly more gentle on the exits. And then that's just change the left side tires. Funny how there is so much regeneration going on around this track. You can run really high motor maps, like 120 or 140 even. With the Toyota at least. Will the fronts die off? Well, we will see first what with the front left, if it happens. But it was just about 60% after the whole stint. And if I keep being careful with front left, it should be fine. But yeah, indeed we will find out precisely where the cliff is. Well, hopefully we don't find out, but maybe we will. Yeah, Daniela, I mean, I was about to spin. I think I lost like second and a half by going just super safe, not to have any drama, but it did feel very rotaty. Honestly, it should be like that for way longer than 1 or 2 corners. Would have to ask guys like David Perel what would happen in real life if this... well, he has not driven the hypercars, right? Well, maybe... Is there any YouTuber that drives hypercars? Would be interesting to know what would happen if only the rears were changed after a stint. Because it does really sound like a recipe for a disaster if you don't handle it perfectly. And then seeing the GT3s, the LM GT3s at Spa on all new tires go through Eau Rouge as if it's like fully soaked track. You really get the idea of how easy it actually is in LMU to hit up the tires. They are just too forgiving. I guess I could go for the 3.49 fuel usage or energy usage, but just for the safety I will go for the 3.341 on my overlay. Yellow flag! Yeah, I mean, there was yellow flag, so I shouldn't be surprised. Fabio didn't lift. 60-second drive-through, stop and hold. Hello, Francisca. Vantore. Well, I haven't seen him on YouTube yet, like on his own channel. I really wonder which tires Fabio has changed. I don't feel like I have massive traction advantage, despite only changing the rears. Too far for a dive. Ah, Vesti. Well, Vesti was kind of my teammate to some extent. I mean, we were both in the same Discord with Burst for some months. Must have been Vesti, right? He's Danish. I could ask Tom Dillman. I guess Dillman is the best bet. Although does he really drive hypercars? He was just in LMP2s. Apart from the Van Val, but does Van Val qualify? I mean, it has to, right? Even though it's not really a modern hypercar like the others are. Yeah, Francisca, I fully agree. ACC just feels so weird. I never could make the settings work well for me, and I tried quite a bit. Switchback or... Yep. Luckily, hypercars allow for full use of track width on the exits. And Fabio is getting racy. I wonder if he was actually... Wait. Okay, we are gonna be able to overtake. I saw that McLaren sliding a bit, got scared. I wonder if Fabio was actually the mastermind and was actually tire saving for the whole race. And is gonna strike hard now in the last half an hour. The tire warmers are fully bent, right? On all classes. Not sure about European Le Mans series and Asian Le Mans series and so on. I thought I'm gonna have apex understeer with old fronts, new rears, but actually I have really good apex rotation. It's just late on the exit that the car doesn't quite want to stay within the white lines. Not sure why that is so. I'm still struggling for traction anyway. Well, Daniela, it's... I don't know what to say. To be honest, it feels like the tire drops maybe 10th per stint, maybe 2/10. I mean, it was cold conditions, but still. Feels like there is very, very minimal thermal drag and even more minimal abrasion grip related loss of time. Yeah, messy lap, it's still 54.3. Although, I mean, the track is getting hotter, right? It's there is more and more grip as well. Rubber is getting put onto the asphalt, so it's not that straightforward to judge. And then starting from absolutely green track, the lap times will, well, should improve massively, right? But I mean, in any way, they have completely overdone it with the last update. It's way, way, way too forgiving in any aspect. I'm not sure if I can fully agree with the front-wheel drive reference, but I know what you mean. Like the RF2 GT3s drive like front-wheel drive cars. Sometimes. But maybe there is a hint of that still remaining in LMU. Especially now that after the update the tires are too forgiving. And it kind of allows for a bit of rear rotation into a V-shaped exit. Which is the FWD drive, way to drive. But well, we've been vocal enough about it, I think. Most of the big YouTubers have complained about the tires being too slidey or too vague in some corners and too drifty, too light. Now the question is it actually possible to fix that within the tire model? I really hope so to some extent. I mean, if there is something that has to always be the best in LMU compared to all other games, is the tire model and the FFP. If that falls apart a bit, then it's really not great. But I mean, they know that like they will fix it, and it's still much better than other sims. More enjoyable to drive, even if it's a bit drifty sometimes. The tire wear still does way more than in iRacing, let's say. Ah, the aero load as well, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know fully. I just heard words and ideas and what could be wrong and so on. Was feeling a dive. Not sure if that slight defense helped, but he had a bit of a look. And that's an awkward GT3. What's that lighting change? Way too dramatic. I keep bottoming over that curb there. Hi Renato, thank you for the sub, much appreciated. Yeah, Racing World, I guess. But you know what, through all the years of RF1, RF2, LMU, and of being a bit of a kind of well, I wouldn't call myself a modder, but I know how some files work, you know. At some point, if you do enough of sim racing, then you learn the files. And then of course the tires are encrypted, but some cars are not encrypted, so you can load the TGM files and you see some of the parameters that you can adjust on the physical model. And then you kind of start to understand how tires work in the sim at least. And then obviously in real life nobody really knows how the tires work, I guess. It's just very difficult to make a really precise computer model. Yeah, no one got it right. That's the best way to put that. Apart from, I mean, I guess when the F1 teams have millions to spend on the simulator and so on, they have programmers that specifically do that. Just research, putting the tire into the computer and making it as complex as they want. And they can have the best supercomputers, and they can calculate the physical models much better than our PCs. So maybe there are people who made it work. But they might have contracts, and if they spill some info, they will be sued and so on. But always it's not 0 or 1, right? I mean, everyone can understand something about tire. And I just like to think out aloud and try to come up with, well, more often than not, a word salad that maybe includes like a bit of something interesting for a discussion or for thinking. Although now 70% of my brain is on my rear view mirror, so it's funny how Fabio can stay very close behind, but it's never really close enough for a proper move. Understeer. You know what, I need a bit more of a rear anti-roll bar, or less front. But I fear that at some point it will just become too snappy. Let's freeze the front a bit. It's at the same time quite understeer and on the very limit of a big moment. But this handles alright. And less front ARB will mean less front wear. So front left will not die. Yeah, feel free to enjoy my ARB. But if you put that into your car, don't expect to survive many corners because I mean it's kind of a trade-off. I offset it with other stuff. Anyway, we are defending. Illegal pass, yeah, I mean it was illegal. I dived off track. Well, that's not the best. I wonder if he has actual grip advantage now. In the hairpins at least. Downforce is still with me. Or maybe it was just me getting asleep. Did I mix up two white lines? Or just Fabio braked too early? That's some crazy battling there. The BMW acceleration. I need to stay close here through the S's, which I can because of the more downforce. Now he's gonna get blocked a bit. Maybe. Not really. It feels like if he drives away here, yeah, look at that acceleration. Just the BMW powertrain, as it gets very abruptly dark again. Such a weird lighting conditions. Darker sky, but the road is now... Oh, that's weird. I'm not really lacking grip, I don't know. He just had a great run on me 2 laps ago and made the move. 15 minutes to go. My front left should survive. Oh, Fabio's drifting. I'm as well. Had to turn in. Well, yeah, that was a bit foolish on my side. Fully put my fate into the hands of the GT3. George, yes. Hello there. Front left. Well, again, the fronts are old, the rears are new. Because we only had 2 new tires for the whole race. But it should survive till the end. It's not too bad. That's all I need. I think I mixed up again. Like, there are those white lines. I'm braking at the top of one of them. I have eaten too much of potitza today. And my brain is not working properly. Or maybe I broke at the correct white line, but that there is just 0 real road in the left. But we see BMW ahead, losing the rear a lot. It's gonna be interesting. It's 50-50, I would say. Offline is I say it does feel like that. Well, Fabio certainly did brake at the wrong spot now. Wait for me, BMW. It's so painful watching the car ahead pull away mentally like that. But I mean, I'm closing in mentally like that in the high-speed corners, so BOP doing its magic. Did you hear that? I think he double upshifted. Oh no. Okay. The last thing I would need now is a GT car between us in the SS. Ooh. He tried to have a look. Barely slowed down this time. But he will get a run on me, of course. Yeah, not sure why I thought it was a good idea to go 3 wide there. Still alive. Cannot really do a switchback here. Well, why didn't he drift now? Should have dived, that was close enough. Anyway, downforce goes brrr. Just have to be closer. Yeah, I think we're... what's that? It's a rear wing. I think we're both trying to be really clean here. And that's always a great thing to have for a great fight. Those clouds, they need to be reported. Although it could be just my graphics settings being on lowest, and then it doesn't allow for a smooth transition. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How are they still alive? Both of them. The marvels of the best physics simulator, right? The race can go on. Do that in other sims, they are both dead. Do it in real life and you have a bit of bodywork damage. Or if very unlucky, a puncture, probably. Well, thinking of how Carlos Sainz got the Monaco puncture, that was severely unlucky. But probably it's slightly more difficult to damage like that, these hypercars in the GT3s. Yeah, about the graphic details, I'm struggling for every possible frame per second that I can squeeze out of the PC, so one day I have a bit better PC and I can put stuff to medium or high or even max. Although at some point it's gonna be a problem that my monitor is only 1080p vertical resolution and that maybe I would need a better camera and so on. I think that GT3 was just confused. Tried to get out of the way, but we were too fast on his rear. Slipstream, please. 3, 2, 1. Doesn't really work from that far. Would need to be a bigger dive, but then my fronts wouldn't grip. Uh-oh. Oh. Is that ever on me? Well, I just slowed down. It felt like... I think I did leave enough space, right? Oh well. It was a great battle. In the end, I mean, the timer was going to 0, right? So even the most friendly of the battles is gonna go crazy. for the last lap, but oh well. It was a great fight. Yeah, I guess it's just that... Well, that mistake when you are slightly too late on the insides, like understeering a little bit, and then you're scared you're gonna hit the car on the left or on the outside. And then you just have all your weight on the rear when waiting, or like, no, not on the rear, on the front, waiting for grip to come. And then you just nudge the car on the outside a little bit. And because there is no weight on the rear, it just spins around. But yeah, I mean, if he actually just changed the left side tires, then he has 23% on rear right. And he was indeed drifting a lot in the low speed, and yeah, that doesn't help. But I mean, overall, like, for 1 minute race, even though it was supposed to be a 90-minute race, that was a nice fight. And I'm very happy that Fabio has signed up for this. Yeah, slightly annoying that there is like a clash between the championship, or like the championship race and the weekly event, because it dilutes the player base, and well, if you have 1.5k players peak, it's not really big enough numbers for you to be able to start diluting like that. But at the same time, it's good to have variety of stuff to race. And that those championships are a good thing, and maybe I should actually be doing the championship race, but either way, was a good fight. Glad I did it. As we crossed the line in P1, GG to Fabio as well for maintaining a very good pace. As supposedly my Toyota should be preferred car BOP-wise for this track, so if we were here, like, same pace, he did maybe a bit of a better job. Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, Rosberg and Hamilton Bahrain, I do remember watching that race live as well. Let's quickly check what happened. Is it on replay? It is. It was just before that, right? Yeah, I left way like, what's the word? More than enough space. Sporting amount of room. Yeah, he had a rear snap. Yeah, lock up. Ooh, yeah, that was a big moment. Yeah, and then he's like fully loaded like that, and at that point there is nothing. You were just a passenger hoping for the best. And I would give my brain stopped Englishing. I would have given more space if it wasn't saying 0 minutes to go, right? It was second to last lap. And I just went slightly more risky, but still gave enough space. Yeah, I think that move there, like, was that just way too gentleman driving from Fabio? Or was it just a mental dive bomb from me? I think that was the only thing that I could have done, you know? Because of how great acceleration he had. I just had great brakes, so I was confident, especially after messing up this corner 2 times, that I'm gonna finally stop on the apex. Yeah, GG Fabio, really good fun today. Thank you for the racing. Yeah, it's always like, if you watch from here, it's kind of, yeah, it's a dive. If you watch from here, it's a very optimistic dive. But if you watch from on board, I'm kind of on his rear wing, right? Just like going to the apex diagonally, and the corner is designed in a way that you just have to do it. It just pulls you into the inside. Yeah, the pace was beautifully matched. If I just watch it once more. Bonk. Yeah, sorry, I was like staying a bit more to the right, but that's a bit silly to do. Yeah, it just old tires and well, full in at the end of the race. Anyway, was good fun. Time for some more potica and stuff like that. If you know, you know. And Alex, you stay on the lead lap. Yeah, we pushed quite a bit with Fabio, I suppose. So GG for P4. 8% rear left. Ah, so you changed the right side tires. Michi would have turned in, potentially. I'm gold too. That's a nice Christmas present from the race control to me. Back to gold 2. I think, is this that second or third time for me? I think I was 2 times already in gold 2 and then always had some glitches kicking me out of there. 8%, 6% front right. That's insane. Let me load the log and show you what exactly I had. Abrasion should be visible, right? Oops. Like that. That's a fun looking graph. So I suppose I was the only one changing only the rears, because my rears were still fresh in the end. Yeah. Sound settings, master volume. Let me show it to you. Although I think there is not much, right? I have master on 51. I don't know, in RF2 I had to have master on like 20%, otherwise it's always, well, distraction of my eardrums. Yeah, anyway, time to call it a day, and as I said, go off, enjoy the Christmas season a bit more. Thank you guys for watching, for all the chat. Hope you enjoyed the battle, even though it didn't go to the finish line, but it was still a race long. I enjoyed it for sure. Thank you, Fabio, again for the racing, and you should use immersive. Okay, I need to do that before I close down the stream. Trackside mode immersive. Why was that on broadcast? But that's just for the trackside cameras, right? That doesn't do anything. Ah, yeah, Fabio, you had a bit of a bonk there. I don't know. I mean, if it works now, I guess I leave it like that. I don't know. Anyway, I need to rest my voice because I've been talking for the whole day. Not just for one day, but for a whole 3 days. Yeah, I don't even know what it is. I just left it alone. Anyway, yeah. As I said, have a nice evening. Enjoy the Christmas season further, and see you on track on most likely on Sunday for the what is it called? That's the longest outro I have ever done, I think, but I will eventually manage to do it. It's 2 hours. It's just should be less. Yeah, now it says 19 minutes again. I don't believe this. In the end, it's gonna be like, I don't know, 107 or something. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun race. I will take the McLaren GT3. I'll do it on a Sunday evening. Till then, yeah, Merry Christmas, and if we don't see again, Happy New Year. Otherwise, see you on Sunday. Bye bye.